Okay, and we are back to live streaming Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. Welcome back to the stream, guys. I've had a lot of fun getting this stuff up and running for the time being so far. And by the way, tell me how you think about the new, I don't know what to call it, splash screen, I guess. Anyhow, we will be booting up the game here shortly. So let's get that rolling. Let's get game capture going. And that should all be configured, so we should be seeing some 1v1 action right now. It looks like the capture went through. Sometimes it gets caught, but that is fine. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, recently I've been playing a lot of these Sibrin v Sibrin or Sibrin games just in general, so we'll see what combination we get here so far. Okay, fair enough. There we go. Now we've loaded in. So, naval only map, or naval heavy map, I should say. So we will go into frigate production, or I should say air then frigate production. So let's see how well this works. So we're gonna go 2, 1, 2, 1. 2 engineers, 1 scout plane, 2 engineers, another scout plane, just to be safe. UEF has, I would say, decent T2 Navy, but I've honestly never seen them play with T1 stuff. So this should be quite a show between the two forces here. Get some quick engineer cap-offs, and I'm kind of expecting an early bomber from this guy. That's kind of what I'm expecting. We are fairly close in rank, so this should be a tight match. But you never know. Right, so power is set up. Let's get 2 of these things. Come on. There we go. Take a look at mass around the map. I see that there is a lot of it over here, so we'll grab that and get this guy to expand right and such. Of our scout plane. Take a look over there, see what we can find. And in the meantime, from the looks of how this map is set up, there's a lot of reclaim mass, so we don't have to worry too much about that. The main thing is, I think, taking control of the middle and the side islands and just really kind of pressing out with naval afterwards. So we'll try our hand at that. Let's see what are... Oh, these scout planes, they don't have a very high range in terms of what we can see from them. So that kind of sucks. I'm actually going to pause production for this array here for just a second. I'm going to get that generator production going on. We need another one at the very least to do any sort of engineer heavy or air heavy stuff. Quickly bring that out. Good. Quickly bring out the second one. And I'm not seeing any airplanes just yet, so that can be good or bad. Let's see. He went into building land units, so that puts us, I would say, a little bit ahead. So I'm gonna get this thing to buzz around, and all I want to do is look for engineers coming out of it, and look for what else? What else is there? Engineers and sub-production, that's what I'm looking for there. So, provided that those two things don't come out, I can get some bombers out there right away and really start to lock down areas real fast. Main thing though is that for a lot of the stuff that we do as Sibrin on this map, it's going to be very, very energy heavy. So let's see, I can tier up into, you know what, traditional bombers. Bombers are cheaper right now. Sibrin bombers, they're not that great. The main thing is that you can build that early gunship, which makes it a lot of a difference, whereas UEF, I don't believe, gets them. So quite handy there. And now I'm going to divvy up some of the work to the engineers, send them out. One engineer and a commander will stay back at base, which will get stuff set up here. Grab the early bomber, and let's send them over there to do some econ damage. So now the question is whether or not I want to hit them early on with bombers right away, or whether or not I want to kind of slow transition that, build up a couple bombers first. And I think the correct move here is to start bombing right away. Let's bank in our plane, check, ooh, a naval factory. Huh, so that's quite interesting. They have radar up and going, they have a single AA gun, and they are just starting to get their planes up. So that is quite intriguing. We will get our naval production going as well. And I'm going to get this, one more of these engineers to start building a couple more production like that. And let's grab these air factories, let's just schedule them to attack move over, such that every building that they build, or every unit that they build, is automatically queued up to move on over there and to start bombing. So the main thing I want to take out is that radar installation. I see that he had that anti-air unit just at the very end of my my cutoff there for view. So I know about that. I'm going to try to deal with that early on. I don't need another bomber right here. I need some engineers and a transport. So we'll get that set up. And anyhow, radar systems, they have, I think, 10 health each, and that's uniform for all the factions. So if I just bank in here, hopefully get a really good drop on that, I should be in a very good position to do some stuff later on. So there we go. Bomber drop takes that out. He's going to pick off my bomber, but that radar installation being gone does shave a lot of things off of my mind. And I'm going to get sub-production going now. So there we go. Let's get some interceptors now that he's trying to check up. And guys, I'm not really great at these naval-only engagements, so we'll see what I can do here. I mean, I don't really play Sibrin that much. It doesn't help that it's a naval map either. I think I'll get a commander here just to build some more power. And I'm going to get some of the air transports to... Oh, get this one first. Airlift some of the things around. What are they called? Some of the mass. There we go. Around. So that has one. We'll get him another one, and we'll send that right off. Nice thing about the Sibrin faction is that they have some really cheap frigates. So if we do get a couple of those set up, I think we would be in an even better position. Yeah, if those were UEF bombers, that would have been taken care of a long time ago. So now he's going to try to pick off some of my things, which is absolutely fine. And we'll send them back to deal with them. In the meantime, let's get fighter production going. And a couple more frigates being built would be quite nice. So there. If the commander's working on that, let's get the things built like that. Right, so this shouldn't be bad. Holding up quite nicely. And, oh, it gets the drop down just in the nick of time. Perfect. So that drop will keep our... That should hopefully put us in the lead in terms of econ. Now that we have an engineer dropped on that island, so we can start building some good stuff over there. We can get 2 of the engineers to come land and to start building some mass deposits over here. And I guess we just need a whole bunch of production in terms of naval for the map's sake here. So we'll see. I think I'm gonna get a spy plane too. The main thing is that I need to know what they're doing over there. Ah, he took out my engineers. Main thing is that I need to see what type of ships he's producing over there, so one of those things will help. And now, if I'm not mistaken, ship production is relatively... Yeah, for us it's relatively stable for how many of these things we can get per bundle, so that's quite nice. Let's take some more engineers and let's get them to come aboard land. Main thing is that I want to keep track of where these guys are. And I'm not seeing any development south, so that's very, very good. That's telling me that there's, you know what, there might not be anything worthwhile here. I think he has a bullfighter station on the island, but the main thing is that I want to see whether or not there are any buildings on these locations. So he has some naval over here, that's fine. And he is starting to build some things up over there, that's fine too. Okay, so we are ahead. Or we are decently ahead. Reason being is that these frigate production centers, they are extremely, extremely efficient in what they do. So, if we get another ship production, we're about even there. They haven't taken any of the land masses, so we should be fine there as well. The main thing is that I think I need to group these planes in better order. Let's set them up for a rally, like that. And okay, so now the main thing is just raiding. We need to get our ships over here to do some damage. He's teching into tier 2, which should be fine. For our sake, at the very least, it should be fine. He'll probably go into cruisers. We've bought a couple of subs to counteract that. Subs can't be detected by those. UEF cruisers, though, are, oh my god, amazing vessels. Main thing is that they're not that great if you send them in without any support at all. They pick off your base, they really whittle down at you, but you know what, that takes time, and time is something that you don't necessarily have when you have all of these frigates coming at you. And the best thing about these frigates is that I believe, well, not on T1, but on T2, they become amphibious, making them quite deadly in that sense as well. And I'm going to get some engineering production going here as well. So now, ideally, I get my Air Force to bait my opponent's air into the huge death ball of ships I have, and get the ships I have to start making raids on whatever is over there. And voila, and then we should be in a very good spot. So that's good over there. Let's build a land factory, try to contest this island. That isn't too big of an issue. Main thing is that I want my ships to be able to start picking away at these points here. Sadly, this island looks like it's slightly too big for me to do anything effective on it. So, that said, we will have to work around that. And he has a lot of ships over here that I don't know about or I don't see. So I'm guessing these are either attack subs or something. Ah, his commander's over here. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, let's see what these ships are. Single frigate there. We outmatch him with a whole bunch of these. Ours are slightly weaker, but that's fine because we have so many of them, really. Ah, I see. So his main fleet is over here. Okay. That is quite interesting. This will be a naval trade-off, I guess. So to that, I think our commander here can just stand on the coast and hit a couple of their vessels. Can't hit all of them, but can hit a couple. And now about these submarines, let's see.
Commander under attack.
What are we going to do about those? We have our own submarines coming around to deal with them, I guess. But yeah, like I said, I am not good with the naval stuff, so I think we'll just try to do however much damage we can against their ports, really, and go from there. Well, I think we have to call it GG. This built torpedo boats and cruisers, which these frigates do not do too well against. Yeah, as you can see, they take a lot of damage to take down, and the subs, of course, they are very beefy as well, seeing as our frigates can't fire against them. So that is quite interesting. Okay. So we'll call that GG, and we will exit out. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the dynamic is behind the naval play so far, because a lot of it comes down to kind of, well, early on, I mean, you have a very few ships, right? I didn't expect them to come around from the side there, but I'm guessing he primarily produced subs, and I mean, if you do ball them up enough, you can camp the naval production facilities. So it goes both ways. To me, I mean, the subs originally were kind of a side unit, but at the end of the day, we can do some theory crafting later and see kind of just in general how effective those subs are. Right, so let's see what we get for game number 2. We are playing against Bias on Theta Passage. So this is good. It's a land map, so we should have slightly better chances here. So let's get standard production going on. So 4 engineers, 4 scouts, something like that. So in this setup, I mean, Seraphim don't have a lot of units, but then again, it's a small map. And, to that, I mean, we can do a lot of raiding. We've had a lot of good games already on this map, so hopefully we'll see another. Okay, so what I plan on doing here is that we want to grab a couple of these points, a couple of mass points to start off with. Grab the first 2, and then I think we'll get our forces here to head over to the engineering point. Can't really tell whether or not the stuff that I'm doing right here is a little bit slower, seeing as how usually my commander will be able to finish up 2 of these points before starting the mass extractor, but that's fine. So there we have one there. I think we get the other one set up somewhere right around there. This one, let's see. Let's get it to stick too close to the wall. And what I want to do with these scouts early on inside the game is that I want to build a network here just around the top portion of the map, so that if anything comes down around there, I can see it early, and I'll lose the scout, but this guy is a pesky little fellow. Anyhow, I'll lose the scout, but that's not a big issue, so long as I can kind of detect it, right? These scouts have guns, mine do not, so I will try to avoid that. Oh, he's actually going to chase me, okay. I think what he's doing is that he's positioning these on top of the points so that if you do bump into them, you can't use them, just simply because that's kind of how the game works with stealth units. So that's actually absolutely fine by me. I mean, if you know how to deal with that, and hint, all you do is attack move, you can reclaim them. That is his commander for sure. It is no problem. Yeah, and you'll see that his tanks are very, very slow. So at this point inside the game, I don't really need any fancy units, so I could get basic production starting, which is mostly just tanks and the stuff. So I'm actually going to get this engineer to do all the work. I'm going to get my commander here to move out. Okay, so that one is actually working. I thought for a second that that one capped out on time, where he actually did try to cap off the point. So let's It's good to know that nothing happened there. Three of these. We get our second production building down. Right, so the main thing with these tanks is that the Tham over there, the T1 Seraphim tank, does more damage than ours, than our base tank. The good thing about it is that ours move much faster, so if we can, provided that we can get them behind the enemy, we'll be able to do a lot of damage just keeping that there. Now for Cybrand, I haven't played this faction a lot, so I don't have the what do you call them? The templates built so far, so how to do that in some due time. Now to that, I'll have to kind of individually build those, which is a huge pain in the butt. Okay, this is going, I would say, decently well. His army is following mine, so he has just given me the initiative here. If I can keep pulling his armies around, I can gradually build up what I have here and then go for the kill as time progresses. See that we have a lot of... or no, we don't want that just yet. See that we have a lot of mass being built. So we need to wait a while before our mass recharges to a decent amount before we can do anything. In the meantime, I did want to build another, say, building or something like that, but I think we need +4 mass. 4 mass equals one of these factories, and once we have it, that's when I'm going to build it. Oh. He's going to get that engineer pick-off eventually. My oh my, he got it before the building was actually done. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna get one squad to take a look around there to see whether or not we can get any pickoffs for reactors over there. There we go, we clear that up.
Commander under attack.
And I think I'll try to fight him for some of the stuff here in the middle. So early on inside the game, one of the things I've been, or one of the things that I want to try to do more is I want to try to contest for reclaim and for veterancy. So what do I mean by when I say that is your units gain veterancy, and having a couple levels on your commander makes them very beefy to start things off with, and in general, I mean, it just helps out a ton. So I'm gonna get him to brawl it out with whatever he can find anywhere on the map, really. And if that comes out to be something good, I'm gonna get him to kind of reclaim it as we go alongst here. So up over here, I'm not actually sure whether or not I want to kind of wall this off anymore, seeing as how we're just doing an amazing job keeping this gap open. I think I'll actually send some troops through it rather than around it. So at this point, I want to try to make a solid front. I want to try to keep our lines largely intact. I want to get some raiding done on his side of the map. Taking a look at reclaim along the map. There's some here, there's some here, there's some here. I'm gonna grab the reclaim here. Yeah, that turret's gonna take way too long to finish. I think one of the things that we need to try to keep an eye on is kind of where exactly, where one of the things is kind of where exactly do you send your units to try to reinforce and to cover any flanks. The main thing there is that with these big army pushes, it's like, should we try to cover more area, or should we kind of like divert reinforcements here or away type of deal? Right, so I think I need a radar array real soon. Need a couple more engineers as well. The main thing in these fights is that I don't want to develop this front any more than I need to. Once I have a couple of gunships out, I think that'll really help out. Yeah, but gunships takes energy, and we do need to keep track of just how much energy we're producing versus how much we're spending, and I'll get an engineer to try to start to reclaim any of that field. I like what he's doing here, where he's just sending kind of, you know, one or two engineers, or one or two artillery pieces to try to siege up anything that I have over there.
Under attack.
Where it's, say, you know, not enough that he's doing, say, serious damage, but it's enough to try to, you know, put some pressure there. Let's grab the ACU, grab some of the mass, and try to go for that again. He's gonna ball up, sure, that's fine.
Commander under attack.
Oh, I think I might have overextended here with the commander. Let's see.
Under attack.
That's going to fend off a lot of troops, and that's going to give him a lot of veterancy, if and only if he stays alive, right? So we'll have to pull him back. And oh no, we ran out of power, so we'll take that off. Okay, it looks like we're fine for the most part. That commander unit's safed up behind that wall of gunships now. So perfect. The good thing is that he gained a single level of veterancy from that. And I can get it to start to reclaim some of the map. They're going to make a push over here. Turret goes down, that's fine. So I think we'll go into more production and a couple more land factories. Yeah, I bet he's been building factories all along the back side of the map over there, so that is going to be quite a lot of stuff that we need to deal with. I don't really get why he's attacking now with this army instead of earlier. I think that would have been a much better timing between the two. But sure, I guess there's a reason for it. So now, the thing with these armies is that, I mean, if you don't kind of press forwards here, I can just like kind of pick up mass from the ground now, and I can get a lot of it for relatively cheap. So that's fine. At this point, I mean, I do have an advantage in the sense that I'm in the air. I have gunships patrolling around, which can do some damage and try to harass his pieces, right? But that's not going to be enough. So at the point here, I really do need to make a push onto some of his stuff. The thing is that his units are a lot better on the 1v1 fights. So I'm going to try to even this up. I'm going to try to get my commander into the ball. And I think we moved past that part of the game where it's kind of all about raiding. I think now it's more so about kind of who can win these critical engagements.
Commander under attack.
So over here I can use my commander to shield my army by a bit. mostly because he has the veterancy. So if we take a look at his commander I don't believe has any levels of veterancy. So in a 1v1 brawl, my commander would win, but that's, you know, that's not saying much when you have this army to back it up. So he's losing this fight. I'm going to press forwards. I think at this point it's, yeah, I think I'm going to chalk this up to an all-in, where it's like, if I don't win right now, I probably will not be able to in the future. So I'm going to try to follow his commander around. My units are rallied to the fighting over here. And the main thing is just like, this will either be a draw or a victory for us, depending on really whether or not we can put enough pressure onto that commander unit. Yeah, he's doing a good job of reclaiming it there as well.
Commander under attack.
Come on. All I'm waiting for is for him to get into range. If you're good with micro, you can kind of block the commanders from smashing into each other. But at this time and place, I think this'll at the worst be a loss for me. But we do have a slight chance at winning this brawl right now, because the commanders are so close. If one of them dies, the other one will, of course, suffer blowback from the shot going into them. Oh, he's gonna try to pull range. That's fine.
Commander under attack.
Ah, he's actually building the buildings to try to slow my commander down. Haha, that is clever. And that is GG.
Commander under attack.
Well played. There we go. Let's see how much health he came out with. About a quarter, so okay. Right, so that is, I suppose, game number 2. Yeah, so let's see what's going on in chat for a little bit. And well, then play a few more matches after that, where I think I'll actually take a look at the get rid of the timer here. I think I'll actually take a look at the replay for that match, because I like the way he was doing a couple of things. It's especially that last bit with the drop the building micro. I think if I was able to kind of keep up with his commander, I mean, yeah, of course, like the closer you are to that blast, the more damage it does, right? So that said, yeah, I wanted to see what possibly might have happened if I was kind of closer to that. Let's see, what are you guys talking about in chat? So some stuff about building defenses, being able to turtle and stuff like that. Sure. Yeah, by the way, I mean, yes, the chat is in the video, but that's injected into the video. I don't actually see that on the screen. It's actually a handy-dandy add-on. What it does is that it actually takes a browser window and puts it into the video. So it's actually exactly the window screen that you guys see inside the YouTube chat. Granted, you know, there's a couple modifications, but that's pretty much that. So what else is there? Some stuff about turtling inside the game and stuff like that. So yeah, regarding turtling, I mean, with like Cyprian, the faction, I was having a lot of luck with them earlier. It was like Cyprian's overall, I'd say it's a raiding race, mostly because, you know, you have a really good set of these units early on inside the game, especially those really fast bots. So that said, it really kind of depends on how you use them, right? If you're able to kind of keep your opponent back all the time, then it's absolutely wonderful. But if you can't, then it's not so much. I think in that game, probably should have built kind of a few raiding teams, like single bots with a couple of things behind them, just to kind of keep my opponents back. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a terribly big fan of that because sometimes you come out of it empty-handed and sometimes you don't. So I think that can go either way. Later on, I think we might try it. For now, this 10v or 5v5 will be filling up, so I think we'll play that. Oh, and we didn't get the spot. But yeah, that would have been interesting. That is quite a lot of people. Right, so the bad thing is I now gotta wait until the game lets me exit out. Yeah, so I mean, later on we might switch to playing some UEF or Seraphim instead. Sebrin, I like how they generally feel, but let's actually take a look at the game replay there. So let's take a look at that. 2015 bias. Because I wanted to try to figure out what he does with his scouts early on and kind of like how he transitions the game. I think maybe one of the biggest things was that maybe we're just kind of floating too many resources, and we didn't spend them all early enough. So I'm gonna put this on +4 speed and take a look at how things are set up for him there. So land factory first, he builds a single power generator, and it looks like, yeah, he does, he builds a single tank after each and every single engineer, so that's kind of interesting. I'm guessing this is because he wants the tank to defend the individual engineer. He kind of expects a lot of raiding from me. So yeah, he built a single scout. He gets 2 of these guys. These are hybrid units. They're combat scouts in the most literal sense. It's a specialty with Seraphim where instead of having a dedicated scouting unit and a dedicated raiding unit, you have kind of like one unit to do both jobs. Sadly, it doesn't do both jobs very well. In fact, if you have any combat unit, you should be able to pick these off. If you have only scouts like I did here, they're not as great. So he goes and he actually immediately starts 3 factories here, and he has the power and the mass to keep this up, which I am pretty impressed with. But okay, so he was on 4 production right away when I think we were on 2 in building power. So that's pretty good. And during this time, I'm moving upwards throughout the map. He is kind of slowly pacing by, grabbing the engineering points. I'm under the impression that this raid, from the looks of it, went on a little bit too early. And, that's kind of a hard thing to say because he does bring the tank blob down here. Because of how small this map is, I don't know if I would have been able to catch him, but I thought that was an engineer at first, but as it turns out, you know what, he's busy just kind of cycling off of whatever he can find on the ground. I do finally get some pickups here, but I think the net has already closed. So yeah, I think getting the commander coming down here was a good idea. It closes off one of the gaps on the map, and during this time, I mean, nothing is inside this top corner or top center portion of the map, right? So with that, it's very difficult to kind of raid something that's not there. So yeah, this was overall, I would say, a solid game by him. It was nice and controlled. He does have, I mean, I do have the resource advantage here, but I mean, he is reclaiming a lot of the map, and once the engineers finally come by, they do a nice job. Taking a look at it, a lot of tank production, a lot of artillery production. He doesn't have these 2 factories working, because from the looks of it, his economy does stall, but I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think my tanks and stuff were able to keep up. at the time, I mean, I had decent amounts of each resource. I was actually kind of fearful of running out of stuff at this point. So, I don't know. I think next time I'll try to make that not much of an issue. Here, let's speed this up. I'm interested in where his engineers are and what he's doing at this point. Because if you're in that situation, I mean, that's fine and all, provided that you can kind of ball up and grab enough, or put out enough stuff in due time, right? So at this point, I mean, the econ is exactly equal. But, yeah, I think with Seraphim, I mean, you do really need to ball up your units and grab that critical mass amount of those tanks, because they do decent DPS and they're decently armored to bat as well. The main thing is that it's slow to build them and slow to use them. So a couple of good plays here. He sends, in my opinion, too many things towards the bottom portion of the map, but I think this is a raid, this isn't retaliatory. Where are these guys going? Let's see. Yeah, or no, never mind. These are retaliatory, so... So I think it's a neck-and-neck part of the game here. Maybe I shouldn't have called it so soon, or maybe I should have gone that air factory a bit sooner. Because at this point, taking a look at how much mass there is distributed between the two of us, I think I had a slight edge with the stuff being over here. This, I think, overall worked out. I was kind of expecting a couple more units. I really do need to keep that radar up and functioning. Well, no, I think we have the radar up at this point. It was just that it doesn't cover that area, and that yeah, it kept on shutting off because we had power issues. Taking a look at his side again, I do think that, like, I disagree with him pulling back here. I think if he sandwiched my army, he would have at least traded favorably. I'm gonna take a look at the land factory count here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He probably has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, but he's stalling on stuff. So yeah. So that was an econ game. That was because I think I would have probably, I think I probably should have gotten these gotten a whole more engineers to help out inside the back ranks to really reclaim stuff. Like, because over here, I think this is kind of what keeps the factory going, not the mass extractors. Those are kind of worthless at this point. And yeah. So overall, I mean, that is, yeah, solid play, well played by him. And the thing about that is, I mean, you know, I'm learning throughout this process as well. So overall, pretty good. Okay, so let's see what you guys are talking about in chat now. Not much. Okay, that's fair. What do you guys think about or to answer your question, no, I might play the new Total War Warhammer game. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it. I think we'll have to see how things go before making a call on it. Mostly because it's like I don't see any. I think the novelty will wear down after you know, like a couple of hours really. The main thing is that like I bought Total War Attila, but I didn't really notice any difference from Rome apart from the fact that or actually, no, there wasn't any really big difference there is the thing. Overall, do I think it's a solid title? Sure, but yeah, like my main concern is that they removed the ability to change the unit sizes. I think in Rome too. I know Shogun had it, and I really like that because I mean, so long as your graphics card can handle it, right, and I suppose your CPU for the projectiles. I mean, it was really fun making the army blocks 400 units, or at the very least give us the option back to have like 40 unit blocks, because I think they removed that in Attila. I haven't played a ton of that, but I think they removed it from like at the very least the campaign. Whereas I think in in Napoleon and in Shogun, it was an option if I'm not mistaken here. At least at the very least in Napoleon, I think it was an option to have large army sizes, even if it was by mod, which was quite nice. And to that, yeah, that would have been quite nice. let's see. What else? What else should we do? I suppose we'll queue up for another Sibling game? So this might be fast or it might be slow. Try to find some of these 2v2 games for the time being. Occupy. Okay, that's fair. Let's see what. Go back in the queue. Oh, to answer your question about T2 level T2 tech, like honestly, I don't know if it would help out that much in that case though. I was thinking about teching up, but the thing is that it's like I don't think I had enough production inside the back there, but I should. Like I think the main thing was that he was on 10 factories when I was on 5, so I think like probably making more stuff is more important in that case. My main concern with teching up is that it's like you gotta it's like it's really hard to sustain is the main thing because you have less units, and I would have even less units in that case going like 5 factories versus 10. So overall, I think the main thing is that, and again, I really don't produce enough of those power generators. So like I should really just have a dedicated of engineers just solely generating stuff there. Oh, I found a match. Perfect. I was gonna search up how much were compare some of the T2 units for Sibrim because they're really different compared to some of the other factions, which would have been nice. Oh, one thing I should mention is that I'm reading the chat in real time for the past little bit, so when it actually shows up inside the little chat box, that's kind of when you'll see it. Okay, so it put me with somebody who's like about 1,000 or 150 below my ladder ranking, so that should be good, I say with hesitation. Could be good, it could be bad. You never know. I had one game which, admittedly, it was on a naval map, and the guy had a negative score, but hey, you know what? He beat me fair and square, because, well, that's just that. So you never know. I mean, I think with the ranking system and how many people are on it, it's, you know, it's not really indicative of anything. Anyhow, we'll see what we can do here. Take a look at the map. Loki is, I think, this, you know, this screams community-made content to me, but nevertheless it is, well, like, the entire game at this point right now, it's community content, right? So, I do like it in the sense that it's an interesting map concept, but the main thing there is that it is, what's the word I'm looking for here? Huh. Can't remember now. Oh yeah, it's really it's deceptively simple. It's the thing. It's just a whole bunch of like cliffs here and there, and it looks like a lot, but in reality, it's not that much. Sure. So we have our raiding para units now. We can bring this around like that. I think the 3 engineers building at the same time is a little too much for our power to maintain, so I'll get the engineers to go out and to hopefully grab some of the critical points on this map here. So main things about this is that this is actually water, this is also actually water, so it makes for an alternative attack path on the map. Fighting inside the center of the map, there is actually a little bit of a city here, so that kind of has some unique elements to that as well. So quite interesting. Oh. I think either... Yeah, I was going to say either there's a turret in the middle there, or there's something going on. But it looks like there was a couple of his units. Fair enough. Yeah, so he has his forces going there. We'll get our air factory going here in a second. I think I actually meant to build a regular land factory instead, but that's fair. Sure. So let's get things to cover that for now. And let's get that to bound up so that we can see what was going on there. Ah, no, the bot reached it in time. 9 HP left on that guy. Oh, he sent out 2 assault bots early on. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, fair enough. So I'm guessing he went... oh, he also went air. Sure. Okay, it's a good thing we are producing more stuff on the back end of that. Let's grab these 2. Let's get a couple engineers to start to cycle some of the mass that we have on the terrain here for the time being. And with our commander, I'm going to move him up, and I'm actually going to send them to make a base over here. Okay, so he's going for energy first. So that'll put our air units, once they're built, into a queue, flying around. Oh, I should probably get one plane to solely cover the engineer there. And does he have a similar idea? No. Oh, come on. Yikes, that's gonna get a bomb drop. Okay, so we'll see how well we can do about the power issues here. I swear I put the planes in the, thought I put them into a holding pattern above, so that shouldn't happen. Either way, I think once those are done, we can get another one of these things out. Oh my god. There should be a queue order. It is nice that we can kind of pick at that one single target from so far away. Hopefully if I send in... Ah, man, I really wanted to pick off that radar installation. That would have been quite nice. But nope, I guess not. Sure, so I think we'll get 2 scout planes, and we'll keep production up in terms of this stuff right over here. So let's see, we have a lot of power now. I think we have enough stuff to keep double production going here. So if you're wondering one of the reasons why I'm not too worried about not having the map control here, it's actually because seeing as how he keeps on smashing his armies into my blob of stuff here, really, I'm not really at a loss seeing as how there's nothing being capped in the bottom of the map either. So overall, because of that, like there's no real reason why I can't just stall up here. So now, sure, he's gonna launch another attack, but by the time that comes, my engineers are already here, and soon enough they'll be reclaiming half of the stuff right over there. And this wave of stuff is gonna go around. So I think I'll get our guys to actually consolidate whatever they have into a big ball here. And at the end of the day, again, I'm just going to grab free mass over here. Because, I mean, the mass points, they do give off +2, which, you know, it's not bad, but, like, it could be better. It could be much, much better. And yeah, one of the things I'm doing with the factories is that I can chain them off each other such that I don't get why these guys don't prioritize the higher mass deposits, but that's fine. I'm gonna issue them a movement order in the middle of this graveyard, if you will, and then get them to press forwards. Probably ball up my forces a bit better there. And these guys, I want them to build a radar installation. And the rest I want to move out. So a couple of good plays over here would have been probably to go for some air units, some air bombers. Because he's not really being proactive with his air superiority. He gained it early on, but I mean, it's like he's not really using it for very much. And I see that I still have, I'm bleeding a lot of mass still. So this is pretty good for me. He's smashing his army, and his army is solely centered around this wall here. If I can just simply kind of come over here and squish his army to death, my artillery shots for one are greatly more, I would say, more effective than they've ever been. Is one thing. And I know this isn't really an efficient layout, but it's in the interest of saving time. We can be much more productive there, and I'm going to get a single engineer here. 2 minutes, 3 minutes-ish, to go around the back there. Come on, how is it that difficult? Yeah, those spots they're deceptively simple. They soak up so much damage, but in reality, I mean, they're not that strong, right? So yeah, we'll get them to make that push there. And as you may have noticed, I'm sending an engineer here through the back, through the water, because engineers are amphibious, to cross on over and to grab whatever they can. I think the only real difference between this and last game is that last game I didn't keep up production by this much. This is going to be kind of a stealthy play by me. I'm going to get my commander to sneak across, pick off the hydrocarbon power plant. I don't know whether or not his economy solely depends upon it, but I hope it depends a fair amount on it, and to try to grab a victory like that. So now he must be wondering what I'm doing. Ah, he's going to sweep up. Sure. So long as my commander is actually under the water there, he should be safe. There's... They, like, arguably... Or no, I don't think air can attack him either in that situation. So, with that said, that's going to be really, really difficult to deal with. There, so that's one thing we're going to do. The second thing we're going to do is take a look at how well we're doing that.
System enabled.
Ah, perfect. Overload. Overload will allow us to pick off that turret.
Commander under attack.
As soon as we get in range. Oh, he missed. He hit the wall slightly. I hate that part where it's like, right now I think we're shooting the wall instead of the turret half the time, because that thing is taking no damage.
Commander under attack.
There we go, finally. Yeah, so that really sucks.
Commander under attack.
And yeah, then I just get my commander to pull into the water. And that is pretty much that safed up. So overall, not bad. What the heck is supposed to build these air factories? Because it is not being built. I think it might be actually better just to go for his base. Uh-oh, the Air Force should not be hovering there. All of these guys should be just hovering. Nope. Come on. So now behind this, I think this is kind of where I need to tech up into T2. So I'm going to build the first factory, we'll tee up, and we'll send that across soon enough. I really do need a scout plane out and on the map real fast. So I had to cancel the gunship there. I realized that I haven't passed through a lot of this in a long time, so I don't know whether or not anything is just kind of lurking out of sight, which can be very bad. Uh-oh, that is not good. He is stacking up a lot of troops where my forces are not. So actually, he hasn't, or maybe this is the counter push. But there's nothing being contested on the map right now, which is kind of strange, I've got to say. Oh yeah, one of the things is that the engineers here, they're actually not worth that much. So, with that said, I'm not too terribly worried about losing them actually. Main thing is that these artillery guns really need to focus down these point defense turrets. That thing is currently saving them a whole lot of pain. Good thing is that ours, they don't do a lot. Our artillery don't do a lot of damage, but at the very least, they do stun the building. So that keeps some pressure off of us. And again, he's going to make this attack to on my stuff right here, but I can just kind of get my army, ball them up, and squeeze all this to death. I really don't need that many artillery guns, come to think of it. It looks like, you know what, this is going to be all mostly just straight up, you know, bots fighting bots, really. Yeah, I think I'm overproducing on AA right now, which really sucks. So you know what, cancel production. We are just going to be building assault bots now. Yeah, because half of this is, there's only actual 12 assault bots in here. Most of that is just honestly, just combat, not even combat units, it's just support units, which sucks. So now this push is going to be really effective because there's nothing to defend it. Oh well, I'm still pretty happy that we've kept up with our goal of keeping energy high. Is there really anything else to that matchup here? I'm not going to force a pullback anytime soon. I suppose we need mass really, really fast, so we can grab that. Ah, and he's getting his tanks out, his T2 tanks out. Fair enough. Yeah, at this point I think we just need T2 units out on the field. The artillery is doing a good job keeping these guys set back, but tearing up faster than our opponent here will be another thing that we just have to kind of do. But it's good to know that, I mean, none of the other points here are necessarily too contested, and we're starting to work on some of the mass fields, if you will. So overall, that shouldn't be too big of an issue. Let's get two more of the engineers helping out. We're actually, no, we're starting to reclaim a decent amount of mass. Alright, the other thing I was going to do was start building some radar dishes. Okay, so that is handled pretty well. Perfect, T2 is done. What do we need now? T2, we need some tanks, some, I would say at the time being, some rocket bots, honestly. But of course we don't need one T2 factory, we need multiple, so we'll tier up a couple of these. I'm not going to take out any production for the time being, because right now, if we took out production, that would be really, really bad, really, really fast. Good news though is that once we've built a lot of the stuff, we can get a lot more out in a jiffy. So over here, I'm going to build some point defense turrets, just so that we can kind of have some area to ourselves, especially if he's not going to mix any artillery units into his force comp. So now I'm guessing if I do a flyby at this area, he's probably amassing for a push there. And I need a radar dish here. That's what I need. Oh, this is an air base. My bad. Does he have any turrets here? Oh, he has shield generators. Huh. That's interesting. I was gonna say, I should be able to hold this off without doing anything too crazy. Huh. This is a pretty good game so far. It's gone back and forth so many times. The main thing now is transitioning. I think a couple of amphibious units there would be really, really useful if we're able to make some sort of play like that. And got another base going up over here. So everything should be fine once we grab all of this. Yeah, the econ's starting to churn back up, as you can see. Huh. That sucks. Those bases weren't tearing up for the longest time, so we were on one base for T2 production. Yeah, that is gonna have to change real fast. You know what? I think I'll actually start tearing up some of these other factories to T2 if they do decide to tear up. Yeah, there we go. Let's see how well this T1 turret does against these things. Actually, it keeps up pretty well. Yeah, so that T1 turret there, taking 100 points of damage, wasted a ton of their production. So, okay, so he's gonna go for a raid there, that's fine. Oh wow, the turrets held him back from the looks of things. Holy. Quite the impervious line of turrets then. Okay, so in that case, I mean, we're starting to grab the tech necessary. How is your unit comp looking? We're starting to get a few of those tanks going, but, you know, not too many of them is the thing. I'm mixing in some of the rocket bots mostly because I've noticed that, like, we need speed above all, and the other thing is that if they can fire off inside the back there, they do decent damage. The T1 bots can definitely shield them from any major attack, really. Like, in reality, this game could have been over a long time ago. He did catch my commander out of position. I did have the chance to reposition him and move him, you know, simply a couple meters back, really, this way. So to that, well, that's just how it goes. Here, I think, yeah, that's where the mass is really centered around.
Commander under attack.
Oh. Ah, he found out. He found out. He got amphibious tanks. Haha.
Commander under attack.
Okay, so I don't know what he has there, but that is gonna be GG from the hidden commander right there.
Commander under attack.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna walk to the other side of the river here, where he has nothing. And these air units, you know what, we're gonna sacrifice them and we're gonna run them in to practically nothing, because provided that we can find his commander,
Commander under attack.
or alternatively take out this base, by the time that he's done picking off our commander here, we would have this army in his base sitting right there, and that is going to do a whole heck lot of damage.
Commander under attack.
Oh, would you look at that? Okay, so he's smart enough. He grabbed air. This, I've got to say, is the weirdest game I've played so far with this setup. But that's fine. Ah. Oh well, GG. Man, that was a long game too. That was like 30 minutes. Whew. Long game. Now, I don't think he had that much stuff in the back of his base there. I mean, at the end of the day, he has that 1-point defense turret. But like, kind of once that goes down, the blob army that we had pushing upwards would have been devastating. But you know what? I thought that we could make probably, I don't know, maybe some sort of base up top and then kind of push with amphibious tanks over and across the river. But nah. Next time, again, I think it's mostly just producing the stuff and transitioning production. We did have a good blob of engineers there picking stuff up and doing stuff like that. But overall, I mean, these are like quality games at this level. So overall, like overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the matches so far. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream here. Later on, I don't know actually, would you guys be, or actually I might be thinking about streaming some Dwarf Fortress, actually. That would be also kind of cool. But that is something for, I think, another day. For now, I think we will just leave off here.